Alright guys, here is going to be part 4, and it's going to be the 8,000 grit stone. We're starting to get a very nice edge on our butter knife here, where you can't see it, but you can feel it with the pad of your thumb. It's starting to get nice and sharp. Alright, so what we have now is just a little bit of time on the 8,000 grit, and our edge is just about set. Now this is as far as I'm going to go with the stones. I'm going to switch now and we're going to move over to the DMTs, and I think I'm going to complete the rest of the video with the exception of the stropping part with the DMTs on this one. So part 4 will have these two sides, and then it'll have the 8,000 and then the DMTs. So let me get this cleaned up and we're going to switch to the DMTs. Alright, so now it's basically there's an edge that I can feel on here with my thumb. And here, hold on a second. See if we can show you. Just with the stones, it's sharp enough to cut through, what is that, 1/8 inch thick leather. So I mean, right now it's pretty decent. I mean, it's plenty sharp for average day tasks and everything. I mean, guys, we did this from a butter knife to able to cut through tool leather like that. You know what I mean? So it's really, this would be fine for, you know, practical everyday uses. But we don't want fine. We want amazingness. We want awesome sharpening capability. So let's move on to the DMTs here. And the reason why I do this stones and then the DMTs I feel that it kind of develops the edge twice. So you get your first general edge, and you know, with the stone, if you're not locking your wrists and everything, or keeping, you know, super caution on it, then it's going to be kind of, your edge is going to be everywhere. But once you get to the DMTs, you can really hone it in from there by hand and feel your angles and stuff, and I think it does a lot better. So I don't even think this needs extra coarse or coarse. So we're going to throw those aside and we're going to go right to the medium. Alright guys. So here we go. Now what I'm doing is I just keep this relaxed in this hand, DMT in this hand like this, and I'm just going to work against that edge. I'm going to show you the angle that I'm keeping here if I can. About like that. So the only thing I'm doing with my angle is I'm not being specific on how it looks. I'm more on how it feels. I just want it barely touching that outside edge. You know what I mean? So all I'm doing is I'm skinning it so the most of this is touching closest to the edge. You're not starting back here with your angle where you're hitting the entire knife. You know, you're starting just on that edge. And this will take a little bit of time, but I mean, these are pretty quick. I mean, within a couple of days you'll be able to get the feeling for these, and then you'll just be able to sharpen on the fly. About good for that side. Now we're going to switch over and ooh, I don't know if you guys can see that. I just freaking cut myself. How stupid is that? Oh, that's awesome. I wonder if that's going to bleed. Alright. That's cool though. Well, butter knife's getting sharp. Now when I go for the opposite edge, I don't like switching to my left hand. I can use a DMT in my left hand, but I'm not as accurate as if I hold it like this. So basically you're going to hold it like you hold a pencil in your left hand. That's how you're going to hold the handle of the knife. And then the blade just rests right there. And then you can kind of relax your arm down on something so the blade stays stationary for the most part. And then you're using the DMT in the same hand. So you're not changing hands. You can remember the angle that you had just before on the other side, and you're duplicating it again on this side. And this, I find, helps me a lot with the using the DMTs. Alright, so let me see all that good stuff coming up. I'm going to do this a little bit more carefully now. Alright, that is pretty damn close. We're going to switch to the fine. I believe it's the extra fine. Alright, now one thing I want to point out is that now that I'm using this, it's starting to squeak a little bit, and it's starting to catch more. That's telling me I'm just about ready to strop this. It's very, 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 very close. We're going to try a little something here. Alright. I don't know if you guys can see this here. It is shaving, but it's dragging a little bit. I can feel it dragging on my skin. There you go. See the hair on there? A little bit of skin too. So it's almost shaving sharp, but it's not razor sharp. And that's what we're going to use the strop with the stropping compound for. Alright, so at this point I'm going to stop. I'm going to go charge my camera battery, and then we're going to make the last and final video of this series. We're going to make it only on stropping, so that way I can take a little bit more time and explain, stropping, the different types of stropping compounds, all that good stuff. Alright guys, so thanks for sticking with me through this series. Stay tuned, and I will have the other one hopefully up tonight also. Thanks much.